What's up everyone, I'm back with another one of these videos where I'm kind of sharing just some of my background in music and some of the lessons that I've learned on this music journey. So today I kind of want to poke at the question of, do I need to go to school for music in order to make it in music or to make it in the music industry? And the quick answer to this is yes and no at the same time, because it depends on what you want to do with your career. So I'll give a little bit of backstory of my journey in music education and stuff like that. So when I graduated high school in like 2013, I went to Cogswell College, which is now Silicon Valley University, and they kind of specialize in the audio department as far as like movies and cartoons and all that stuff goes. They do have like a mini music department. They may have changed some things, but basically I went there to pursue that, and I ended up dropping out after one semester because it was just so dang expensive and there wasn't really a lot of opportunity as far as like scholarships went and stuff. So I dropped out. I went to school for other subjects like digital media and communications, and then later in time I pursued an AA in music technology just to have it. And then later in life I realized that in any of the jobs that I was trying to apply for, I needed a bachelor's degree, and it wasn't specific to necessarily that field. And one of my teachers from my previous colleges, he said that basically a lot of these companies don't necessarily care what you get your bachelor's degree in, they just want to see that you have a bachelor's degree. So I kind of went off that, and I was like, okay, if I'm gonna go pursue a bachelor's degree and I'm gonna probably go in debt for this, I think the best bet is to go for something that I actually care about, which is music. So that's why I went for my bachelor's degree at Full Sail University with SET. It was definitely worth it. It was definitely a cool time, and I was able to actually get scholarships, and all that time that I was in school before that, I was able to kind of transfer a lot of those credits into my schooling. So I was able to kind of fast track that they already have. So that was kind of a cool experience. I think like it was worth it for me just to go to that school to learn a lot of the stuff that I hadn't previously learned, because a lot of like the education I got at these community colleges, it just wasn't in depth as far as like how things work in the industry. And then when I went to Full Sail, there was actually so many alumni that went there that are in the music industry now. So it was really like refreshing to kind of get their perspective on how things worked. And it's kind of funny because like the irony is that some of their advice was like, it wasn't necessarily looking good on paper. It was really like, do you know what you're doing basically? And who do you know, right? That was kind of like the theme that I was getting, is that networking is probably the most important thing in music, in the industry. And even in like the entertainment industry as a whole, just networking is really good, especially if you already know what you're doing. After graduating, I ended up deciding, why don't I just start my own business and figure that out, right? So that's kind of where I went after graduating. I had worked with a small label after I graduated, and I also worked with a private label in LA for audio editing and stuff like that. So overall for me, it was worth it, because my particular journey, going through college, I have certain skills that help me now as a business owner. Like I know how to do digital media and logos and all this stuff. I know how to communicate properly, write emails, do pitches. I know what I'm doing when I'm working, in a recording session or mixing and mastering, stuff like that. So everything that I had went to pursue in school did in fact help me to where I'm at now. So I hope this inspires you to kind of think about that, and maybe even do some research on if you get a specific degree or if you want a specific career path, how do you get there, right? What's needed for that? And I think it's funny because a lot of the music industry is small business owners, which is kind of funny. So you don't need to go necessarily to a university and get a bachelor's or master's degree to become a business owner, but it is beneficial for you to learn business, especially if you're in music, music business just in general would be very helpful. So it's good to get an understanding of how this stuff works. I think that would be helpful to you on your path. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, give me a like, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on, going to school for music. And if you're in the industry, if you're active, did you go to school for it? Did you not? What was that journey like? Leave it in the comments. I think it'll be helpful for other people that are kind of on this journey. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.